Near mint condition, the home of collected editions.
That cover's so awesome.
Absolute format is the best way to own this store. Time to empty those wallets and fill those shelves. How's it going, all you minties? Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And join me today for my overview of the John Byrne's X-Men Artist Edition from IDW. So, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so, just like every other IDW Artist Edition, this book does come in its own protective cardboard, and it fits snugly in there. Now, of course, the book does have shrink wrap, so I just took it out of its shrink wrap for the sake of this video. So let's get it out of there. Alright, now that we got it out of its box, we can take a closer look at the book. Before I go any further, though, I do want to thank the kind folks at IDW for sending us an advanced copy of this Artist Edition. This Artist Edition is due out in the direct market and book market on December 19th. And here we have this amazing piece right here. It's a very iconic moment. And this is taken from Uncanny X-Men issue 136. So you see some familiar characters like Cyclops and Jean right there, Phoenix. Dark Phoenix to be exact, and Colossus, Wolverine, Professor X and the Greys right there, and then of course Storm and Nightcrawler, all of it in black and white because we are looking at the Artist Edition. Let's take a look at the spine here, and then we'll do a little size comparison. This is John Byrne's X-Men Artist Edition with Cyclops' face right there, IDW and Marvel, and then of course the box in the corner, the corner box if you will, art by John Byrne. IDW logo at the right and Marvel logo on the left-hand side. That magenta color, I believe, is what they're using. And there is no dust jacket, it's just art on board. And comparing it to the size of an omnibus, so you kind of get an idea of how big the art pages are in this book. So there it is compared to the size of an omnibus. This book right here retails for $150. So we're going to be cracking it open and looking at this artwork and taking a walk down memory lane for a lot of us that grew up reading John Byrne's X-Men. Now, just to make sure, in case some of you, but I'm pretty sure most of you are familiar with these artist editions, what these are, the actual comic book pages reprinted. They're scanned and reprinted in these big, beautiful books. So if you've not read stories like the Dark Phoenix Saga, this might spoil something for you, so I hate for anybody to be spoiled because they're looking at original art, or scans of original art, that is. But just in case, minor spoilers? I don't know what's going to be in here. We're going to find out together. Okay, let's go ahead and open up this big, beautiful book. Oh my gosh, look at that beautiful end sheets. This is to the cover, or the wraparound cover to the true story of the Dark Phoenix Saga, how it should have ended. John Byrne's X-Men Artist Edition. And here's the special thanks to a lot of these folks that actually sent their art or had their original artwork scanned. Because as probably some of you all know, these are scans of original pieces of art. Here's an introduction by John Byrne. And then about this edition, John Byrne's X-Men Artist Edition is part of the ongoing series, one dedicated to showcasing extraordinary artists in a format as special as their work deserves. And this is dedicated to Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, and Paul Rainman, who drew the first X-Men I ever read. Issue number 1. Your table of contents right here. And usually they tell you who the inkers are, but we'll look at each page. And then a note about the page numbering. Most of the pages in this book have the page numbers on the top right-hand corner. These numbers represent the positioning in the original X-Men comic as published with advertisements. That's something to keep in mind. And we have chosen to list the art by story pages for sequential clarity. And here we go with issue 108. Yeah, his very first issue. That is his very first page. The cover, though, was done by Dave Cockrum still, if I'm not mistaken. So here's a little note right here, Andy. No color on zip inside Storm's cape. No color on stars. I love notes like that. So what we're looking at here is original art. So the pencil and the inks. And the inks, of course, done by Terry Austin. Some of these, like depending if people have gone to conventions, have been signed by Chris Claremont, John Byrne, and Terry Austin. Oh my gosh, to have these pages. There's one particular page that I always talk about from issue 114. I don't know if he'll be in here or not. I think Rob Liefeld is the owner of that page, if I'm not mistaken. And I promise this video is not going to go an hour, and I'm not going to go through each page as much as I want to, because this is a big, beautiful book. First appearance of the Guardian, with, of course, the cover being by Dave Cockrum. And this is the title page right here, with Wolverine coming back from his space adventure, but really after the issue of Iron Fist, wearing Fang's costume. That's why he has that costume. I don't know if Marvel Legends ever made a toy or not of them. The return of Magneto right here with a big fight. How is Colossus just going to throw himself at the guy that can manipulate metal? Nanny, not the Nanny that most people are probably familiar with from the pages of X Factor and then later on in Hellions, but this is the original Nanny. Oh my gosh, look at that. Now that's a spread. Wow. Oh, wait. This is issue 115. Does that mean that... No. Oh, man. Thank you, John Byrne. Thank you, Chris Claremont. Thank you, Terry Austin. And thank you, Storm. Oh, my goodness, this page. Oh, there's a signature for Jim Warren. All best regards, Terry Austin. And even more best regards from John Byrne, 1996. I want to say... I think it was Rob Liefeld that owns this piece now. Because I was always jealous of the person owning. This is one of my favorite pieces by Claremont. Because I'm a big fan of Savage Land Storm. Obviously. Let's skip a little bit through here and get to the actual... Oh, this is the meeting with Mariko. Right here, the fight with Alpha Flight. A color page right here, which you will see from time to time. Look at the detail. I mean, that looks dirty right there. Oh, that looks so good. Just the amount of detail without any of the colors, before the colors hit. All the little inside jokes right there. Like you have Mary Jo Duffy's name. There's his John Byrne Spider-Man with Arcade. And then, of course, the manipulation of Jean Grey. There's Mastermind showing up. And we're getting ready to go. This is the Proteus Saga, and we're getting ready to go into the Dark Phoenix Saga. Yeah, this is Muir Island, where Sean decides to stay. Oh, the Wolverine solo. Do they have the final page of 130? They don't have the final page of 132, which is the My Turn page, but they do have the solo story. Oh, such a freaking awesome moment. So this is the little bit of the script right here explaining what's going on. The fight between Cyclops and Mastermind. And then, of course, there she is. Dark Phoenix. Child of Light and Darkness. Oh, and then issue 137. Okay, so sometimes, when artists draw these characters nude, I'm always curious how much nudity there actually is, right? Whether they let the colors. Because I know when Dave Cockrum did that picture of Storm taking a shower in the first volume of, what was it? The Dave Cockrum, I think it was issue 96? Maybe 95. The colors had to color in like the heat coming up, where it's in the Essential Edition they let the original art fly by, and it looks like there's a nip slip. So I'm always curious like what artists decide to do, like with the shadows and stuff. But this is the big fight for the life of Jean Grey. Oh my gosh, so this is just purely X-Men. This is so freaking awesome. And there's Kitty Pryde. Hope you survived the experience. Wolverine, can't tell, but he's got a whole new costume now, the whole golden brown costume. And then we start off with Days of Future Past. Of course, it's in here. This is such an iconic story where Kitty Pryde has to travel back in time to stop the assassination of a certain senator. Beautiful. Man, that's so awesome. And he only stayed one more issue after this, 141, 142, and then 143 was it. 143 being his final issue. That's 142, and that's issue 143 where Kitty has to fight that demon. So here's your gallery and table of contents from this particular gallery. This is a page penciled and inked by John Byrne. It was done specially for a proposed Wolverine solo story and predates his early X-Men work. Now that's cool. There is the center box right there by John Byrne, or the corner box rather. John Byrne, Terry Austin. This is the pencil by John Byrne, and then more John Byrne goodness. This, I think, is an unused page because, well, you all know what happened in 137. And then this is the Phoenix stuff right here, the stuff that never, the untold story. I have that issue signed by Chris Claremont, John Byrne, and Stan Lee. I think it's the only issue I've signed by all three of them. But as a kid, I would stare at that cover for hours at the comic book store and wonder how the X-Men died. Man, you all have no idea how good you have it to have the internet. Like, I was a kid going to a comic book store and was wondering, wait, what happened to the X-Men? I do love the use of whiteout sometimes to make characters pop out a little bit more. Oh, iconic cover right there, 138. And this is issue 139, where Kitty joins the team, 140. And then the untold story. And the bio on the man. His brain's getting blown out. That's awesome. And the end sheets, that is one that we saw earlier in the in here. But I did want to note that it is different than the end sheets at the beginning there. Now, let's look at the binding. So the book has 160 pages. It is sewn binding. It is printed in this really thick matte paper, making all of the black and whites just pop out. So good. And then the few color pages that is in here. I didn't go through each page like I promised I wouldn't, otherwise I'd be here for hours talking about how much I love this era. But that's it. That, as they say, is that. If you're interested in purchasing this artist edition, don't forget to check out our sponsors.
If you're in Europe and you're interested in buying these books, definitely check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices, flat shipping rate of €12 for all EU countries, emails answered within 24 hours, waltscomicshop.com, and you can use the code nearmintcondition at checkout and get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order over €40. That's Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ding!
CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget that CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And that was the content, the page count, and build of this artist edition. Let me know in the comments down below if you are picking it up, what other artist editions you own, if you're a fan of this format, and what other artist editions you would love to see being printed by IDW. But if you have any questions, leave them down below. Don't forget to smash that like button. Everyone stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.